Hello, Ken. I'd like to purchase the land that you have for sale next to Andy's Frozen Custard near the Sprouts in Mesa, Arizona. Thanks for taking my call the other day and answering questions about this property and following up with sending me site plans and more information about the property and the workings with Andy's Frozen Custard. And I love studying the traffic. I love studying the numbers. The customers that are shopping at that Sprouts are high quality customers. Those are customers that spend money. Looking at those customers that are going to the Sprouts, that are going to Andy's, that are going to other shops in the area, there's some really good ranking shops in the area in the networks of brands for each one of those shops. And it's not just one shop, it's lots of shops, shop after shop. And looking at that and studying that, generally, when you put a new shop in between a bunch of other high-ranking shops, you get another high-ranking shop. When you look at where the customers are going and coming from these other shops, they're shopping at shops that are not right here in this market, that are in other markets, that are on the other side of town, that they go to when they're on a road trip or something. I can track those customers down. I can see what brands they're going to. I can see statistically what brands they're going to, but I can also see which brands they're going to because they carry their cell phones. They carry their cell phones into these local shops and they carry their cell phones into other shops that they go to as well. So we can track them and I can put together a persona of those customers and what shops they should be shopping at that are not here, that fit on your piece of land. This piece of land is a unique piece of land, the way we've got the access through. And it's not a very big piece of land, but it's big enough to fit a lot of different kinds of shops that could go there that are not here. And I would like to reach out to those shops. I like working with those shops and I like to offer them the financing to build their shop over time. I want to offer them the financing and make it really easy for them to take on a new location, increase their business, grow their business, add on another stream of revenue, and show them the numbers that back that plan up. That's my favorite way to present properties, right? My name is Luke Smith. You can look me up on the internet. I've bought and sold properties all over the place. I started with really small dollar properties, $500 Desert Square kinds of properties, and I sold them on the internet. I sold them in every website that would allow me to. I sold them through all kinds of social media. I sold them in lots of different ways. I added on maps, I added on pictures, I added on access, I added on utilities. I try to make the properties better, make them more valuable and easier to get to and understand. And I sold those properties. And the main way I sold them was with owner finance. I offered owner finance on those properties and I could sell them for even more money and I could sell a lot more of them in a lot more volume. I started soaking up more properties to do that with over time. And eventually I ran into high traffic retail properties like this property that you have here next to Andy's Frozen Custard. And when I started getting those kinds of properties, it wasn't just about adding on owner finance. It wasn't just about adding on pictures and adding on a description and getting better access or utilities or something like a lot of the other real estate that I had worked on in the past for vacant land real estate. It was about finding the tenant that should use that property. I spent a lot of time and energy searching for those tenants. I reached out to them in every way possible. I called them, I texted them, I sent them mailers, I knocked on their door. Hi, I'm Luke Smith. I think you should own another one of these properties, right? That just slammed the door in your face. And it wasn't until I started reaching out to the tenants that it really started to click. And these kinds of properties started to fly off the shelf. And I had bought a lot of them and I started selling them. I started selling them for good numbers, a lot more than I had bought them for. And some of them I didn't, but a lot of them I did. So I started targeting more of these high traffic retail properties because then I know who can buy these properties and how to present it to them and how to deliver it to them. So now I'm reaching out for more of these kinds of properties like you have here. That's why I would like to purchase your property. And I can take it to the tenants that I've already done deals with, and we can use the same contracts. We can use the same paperwork. We can use the same numbers. Maybe we adjust the numbers a little bit up or down depending on the levels of market that are going on here and how much revenue they should have off of the shop accordingly. For me to be able to do that, I'm asking for some time. Not a lot of time, but a little bit of time in this offer. So take a look at the offer that I have enclosed with this video, as well as proof of funds to show that I can pay for it. And I would like to present this property to those specific tenants that I'm already working with and say, let's do it again. Let's put your shop here. Let's make your shop happen here. Let's open another branch of your shop here and let's go run with it. I would like to do it on multiple different fronts because some of them are ready to go and some of them aren't. And some of them have somebody to operate here and some of them don't. And some of them have one up the street that's under contract that I didn't know about or I can't find or can't see yet. And they don't tell anybody until I present the next property to them. So I would like to do it on multiple fronts, not just one that I work with, but a bunch of them to have a much more statistical advantage of pulling off the deal. So please take a look at my offer. Feel free to ask questions. I'm an open book. My phone number, contact information is there. Feel free to look me up in lots of different ways. You can look me up in county records. You can look me up on social media. I've got all kinds of comments from people that have bought land from me, that have sold land to me, or have done deals with me. Jump down any one of those channels. You just look up Luke Smith, or ruralvacantland.com is my website. I do a lot of the smaller dollar properties on, histories of lots of properties there. Bigger dollar properties are run through brokers and more traditional channels. And yeah, feel free to ask as well. Let me know how I can help. If you're interested in this kind of data and this kind of approach to real estate, whether you're watching this video or you pass this video on to somebody, take a look at the link in the description of this video. On YouTube, there's a link, and you can click that link and it'll take you back to my little school community. And we've got a lot of like-minded people that like working on these kinds of real estate properties, high traffic retail properties that you could put a sandwich shop or a burger shop or a cell phone shop or a tire shop or oil change, somebody that has product and service to sell to customers driving by. High traffic retail, generally the kinds of properties you walk out in the street and you look up, down, or you can see a McDonald's in one direction or another, those kinds of properties. And we talk about data sets, we talk about contacts, we talk about who uses these properties, different strategies, and lots of ways to go make them happen. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join my free community. I do live calls on a pretty regular basis, a lot of question and answer, and we go back and forth. And I learn a lot by teaching and working with the different people that show up, amazing crowd that shows up. And so if you're interested in that, please feel free to go join there. It's free. If you're interested in financing these kinds of properties, the proof of funds is there for this property. But if you're interested in financing whatever's created out of these kinds of properties out into the future, or ones I've already done, and I'd like to hand off, I'd like to pass off 15-year kinds of leases, paying rent and depreciation and all the benefits out of a property that's already fixed and ready to go, and it's going. It's not vacant land anymore, but it's paying rent. It's being used by an awesome customer or tenant, and you'd like to own those for the long haul, let me know. I'd like to hand those off so I can recapitalize and go create more of them. I don't have to sell them to you at top dollar. I can give you a good price on them because I'd like to go create more of these. I'd like to use the money over again to create more properties like this that I can solve the vacant property, turning it into a cash flow and asset going forward. And so I think we could work together to high five each other along the way if you'd like to take those out. My contact information is on ruralvacantland.com, and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith at ruralvacantland.com. See you in the next one. Bye.